Hello and a warm welcome back here at Feeling Terrific. I hope you have a great day so far. And when you're listening to this, I hope you will take it from the right perspective. So today I'm having, a very special guest with me, Daniella Spanovic. I'm really happy that she is open to have that conversation because I think it's a very important topic and something where everyone can learn from it. Maybe that's said for the beginning, and maybe a quick intro about Daniela. So Daniela is currently the President's Office Project Coordinator at ServiceNow, and today we will talk about different topics. And just let's, I would say, get right into it. But before that, so thank you, Daniela, for your time. I really appreciate it, especially when it comes to the things we are going to tackle. Thank you for that.
Thank you for having me. I've never done this, so let's see how it's going to go. Um, yeah, let's enjoy the moment and let's see how it's going to go. And thank you for the invite.
No, thank you. Maybe let's start then with the first question. I think everyone is waiting for the answer. Who are you?
You can't, yeah, you can't go easier than that, right? Yeah, I think it's a very very complex question, and it's I think it's connected to your own identity, and the identity is the it's a system. It's like a very big layer of your memories, your values, what you come into a family, all your experiences, all your feelings, all your thoughts, your relationships that you build through your life, and it's all one big picture. But it's constantly, developing, and it's constantly growing, and it goes into phases. And sometimes you're this, sometimes you're that. It depends. Sometimes you're a woman, sometimes you're a mother. If you want to define yourself in a thing, but I would think it's a huge different ways of layers of ourselves. And people want to identify themselves as something. Is it through materialism, or is it through achievement, or is then my identity is connected? But I would also say that the identity is connected to your core. So the core meaning, like, what is your base? What motivates you? What you think about the minute you think about yourself. And for me is kindness, and I care, and I really do care about people, and I do care about situations, and I care about people who cannot speak for themselves. And I think that that's me. That's my identity. That you're here to help and support people, and whatever you know in life and whatever you experience, try to share with other people so they can learn from this experience, because a lot of people are intelligent enough that they don't have to go through an experience. They can read about it or listen about it, or you know just in that case, then they'll learn something and say, okay, I can be a better person too. So that's mostly my main motivation, and my core is that, or my identity, I would say, is that, who am I? So
Yeah, no, I really like your answer to that because I also do think that it's much more complex, and I think, and this is I think also the reason why I put this question first, right? Because it's I think the most hardest one to ask and for someone to think about. So thank you for the different perspectives in your answer, and thank you for sharing. You also just scratched it a little bit, but what are your thoughts about being grateful?
I was lucky enough to learn in a very, very young age. Um, so around I was 8 years old, and I grew up in the States. And um, my teacher, it was very popular to have a diary, and it's all the people, girls, and everybody was writing diaries, and I thought at that time and moment that I'm not capable of writing all these stories and what's in their lives. And because we were sharing in school, I had a really, really wonderful school education, and my teacher said, that's not true, that you don't have something to say. And she says, I'm going to give you a little secret that I didn't tell anybody. And I'm, like, okay, secrets. You're 8, of course. And she says, why don't you write down every day 3 things for what you're grateful for? And I said, I really don't have anything to be, I'm happy, it's not. But she says, go deeper into it, think about it, and write every day. So I started doing that when I was 8. I'm 55 now. So, in all these years, I've been doing it. So in the beginning, I don't know how many notebooks I had, like, a lot. And every evening, I would write 3 things, situations, people. I'm grateful. I'm so grateful that I met this person. I'm so grateful that I read this book, and I'm grateful for, and just describe a little bit of how it goes. And then sometimes in life, you have to move and something happens and you lose all your notebooks. Then you start again. And sometimes something happens in your life. You go live through a war. You don't have your notebooks anymore. And then you have the gratitude in your brain and you know how to do it. And this is a discipline. So it's a very, very, and you're grateful at the moment when everything is good. And when you know how to do that, when everything is good and wonderful and beautiful in your life, because we all have these ups and downs, right? It cannot always rain, and it cannot always be the sun, and it cannot always, things change. And so that's how our good times and our bad times and these things change. So basically you learn to practice gratitude as a discipline, like a high top sports, athlete. Everything's about the practice. When an athlete, when Modric goes on the field and he plays, Modric, the Croatian football guy, when you go on the field and play, you are playing, and you don't have time to think about things. But everything else beforehand is practice. So gratitude is a practice, and when something really terrible or difficult happens to you, then you have the discipline to continue and to say, okay, I am grateful for a glass of water. I'm grateful for, there are many things that you can be grateful for. You think about, you find them, you search for them, you go deep inside yourself and you find them. Again, is it a person? Is it a situation? Is it your own self? People forget to go like this most of the time, So yeah, it's a combination of many things.
Yeah, yeah, I really like what you just said. Practicing gratitude as a discipline. I'm wondering, would you agree when I say that, or what do you think? That practicing gratitude as a discipline can be a lifesaver?
Yes. Yes, it can. I am very, very, very convinced it can, because when you are in very deep, deep experiencing something that is, let's say, not usual, you find this moment that you say, okay, what am I grateful for? If you have a family, if you have friends, if you have something warm, if it's cold, if you have, there's so many things, that very moment, I know, it was raining and you're cold and it stopped raining and the sun you see. So I'm living now in Dublin, and yesterday and the past 2 days it was 19 degrees outside and it was sunny, and you can feel that beautiful warmth on your back around noon when it was sunny. It's wonderful. It's really wonderful. And that's all you need, is that to feel that warmth of sun. It can make your day so much. And you're grateful for it, because there were days before, there was 2 days it was raining. So, it depends. If you want to whine and you want to complain about something, we all have something to complain about. we all have something to whine about. It's just, I'm not 100% optimist that I'm like, oh, everything is rosy, and it's not. There are a lot of terrible things happening in the world. And I don't believe looking through, rose colored glasses, but a positive, an optimistic viewpoint can save your life, or maybe motivate somebody at this specific moment. You never know who you're inspiring. You never know who. I've got that so many times in my life that someone would say thank you because they heard something, or I told them something, and it was just that moment that they needed to help themselves. So, if you give an example that you understand things, and nothing is always great, but we're humans. We're not created to be perfect. We're humans. So it's not an easy job to be one.
Yeah. Yeah. And also when yeah, I mean, I can nothing add to that, but what I would like also to highlight is that what you just said, right? It's about, I mean, having the discipline, practice, and gratitude is one thing, I would say, right? So doing it every day, and not thinking of it as a burden, right? More like a gift. And then when the time comes and you have that moment where you need to remind yourself and yeah, try to keep on track. I mean, I think it might be that in that case, then you don't necessarily need it in the written form, right? But as you said, you have it in your brain. It's in yourself, and
Yeah,
that's
I
much
don't
more
write it.
powerful.
I don't write it anymore. Because I have it in my brain every day. I still do it. So it's my, I wouldn't consider it, once I told somebody, and oh, it's like praying. For me, it's not praying. Everybody has their method, and everybody has, I don't judge people. I don't believe in judging, because you never know what their shoes were, and what was their life. So no judging. Uh, but find your way. Do it in your own way, and yes, it's a do it in your brain. There has to be things that you just have to look for them, and when you start practicing this way, you don't go into the position of complaining and whining and uh, this is a problem. You look at it in a different way, and that's where the practice comes. So it is useful. It is very, very useful in every day, in every moment, in every situation, at work, in life, and in relationships, in everything you have. You can just channel it in a different way, and you say, okay, what am I grateful for? So if you want to look
Yeah.
at life this way, if you don't want to look at it, it's not going to happen by itself. Like, you know, so
Yeah. Maybe let's go to a different time. So you had to flee basically, right? What were your thoughts when you recognized the war started?
very, very short information for your public. So I was born, and then it was called Yugoslavia. As a baby, went to the States and lived there, and have had a family, or my family, and so on. In my teenage years, we went back to, then again called Yugoslavia, and then the war broke out, and it was necessary to leave the country. It was, and then from there went to Germany. I lived there, and going through that experience of emotions are very important for you to understand. This is where you practice the gratitude, like really, really well, and you find out a lot, uh, how this, what are you grateful for in these like terrible situations that someone else put you in. War is the worst thing mankind has invented, not women. I'm so sorry to say that, but men are responsible for war, not women. And mankind has created it, and there's nothing good to say about it. There are no winners in a war. Nobody has ever really won a war. And there are so many people who suffer from it, ordinary little people, we call, let's say, small people, ordinary people. And it is very, very painful to see many things happening to other people. I was lucky at one point when I was living in Germany to read in a newspaper an ad in English where it was the Swedish government and the European Commission were giving a full scholarship to people who want to finish their university, behavior science, social work, and so on and so on. And the task would be to go to Croatia after the university and rebuild the community post-war. I typed, okay, so there was no internet. You had to type on a type machine at that time, and you had to send a letter, okay? So I did that, and I wrote the best cover letter of my life. I told them everything about myself in a couple of pages, really. I think it was a story more. And you didn't know if somebody received the email, the letter or not. So that was these times, you know. Anyway, I got a response, and the University of Jönköping invited me there with a full scholarship, and I was extremely proud, and I promised them I will be your best student ever. And I was older, I was in my 30s. So it was a wonderful experience. And then I was able to go to Croatia, live, collect my family around everywhere, and together for us to be in Croatia. We lived in the eastern part then. The eastern part of Croatia was terribly ruined by the war, so there weren't any buildings, and the buildings that were there, they were, let's say, with holes, and it wasn't a ordinary situation. The electricity and not electricity, and it was an experience that not only that you need to rebuild buildings, but you need to help people rebuild their lives. And you have your own personal experience to share with them as a refugee, that you can really tell them, okay, I know how it is. And also then you have the educational background to support them in the ways that they need to be supported by personal development, talking to them, supporting them, putting in a little bit of your own human touch and all that. Showing them how to be grateful for some things and so on and so. So it was a wonderful 12-year experience doing that, rebuilding the community post-war. And you do various things. We created concerts, and that was interesting, when there was difficult to find music and collect people and do things. I did lateral quizzes with the people, with the community every week for 12 years. So that was also an interesting way to collect people. And you learn a lot about post-traumatic syndromes. You learn a lot how people react to pain, their own pain, living through something, their family has died, or they lost, someone lost. Because at that time, everybody lost somebody. It was, post-war, it was a lot of drugs on the street, a lot of things happening, and a lot of people needed support and in various ways. So I like to say that there are a lot of good has happened through those years, and there are some wonderful people who I supported through those years and are around the world. I don't know, doing beautiful things of being professors or teachers or doctors or mayors or and I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah. No, I really like how gratitude is a partner of yours through the whole time, and what impact it can have, right? And especially as you mentioned it in such moments, right? You also mentioned it or scratched it regarding emotions, right? How did you feel, or how were you dealing with the emotions when you were going back to Croatia at this point of time?
I'm a person that is very present. So you know that the situation is the way it is and you accept it. If you know that there's nothing that you can change at that very moment, you just live through it. Sometimes the emotions are um, deeper, some are not, but you just, I don't know, maybe it's my personality. I can't tell somebody how to do something because everybody experiences things in a different way. But for me, is that I am very present. Even now, talking to you, I'm not thinking about something else. I'm really, really focused on you. So, again, at that point, at that time in my life, again, that's the past now. So, I think it's the past, the present, and the future. So, the past, you have to reflect, to learn from it, to I don't believe in something in bad experience in the, let's say, in the classical way that people do. I think that you either learn or win in life. That's how I experience life. And every time that maybe is not so to your advantage, I will call it a learning experience. And okay. So the motion is again caring, kindness, gratefulness, and that's the motion, okay? And you build from then on further, and then you come to the present. So every moment is a present moment, and when you are in the present, you are very focused, and you don't go into but I don't go into the complaining mode or panicking mode. I don't panic. So in the worst situations in life, I do not panic. I'm very, very calm. I'm very, you know, I don't know why. Again, probably my personality, or is it experience, or is the gratefulness that is evolving from all that? I don't know. It's just the way I am. Everybody's different, so that's me. And I probably, when I talk to people, I just like, here's a little bit of emotion, or put a smile on a person. I'm happy. I'm really happy. When I put a smile on, so I'm so happy. And then you see it on me that I'm happy. So I'm a person that cannot. You see everything in my face. So yeah, when I'm happy, I'm happy. When I'm thinking, I'm thinking. So, and I think that the more you share this kind of emotions with people, they appreciate it because they know that you understand them without asking a lot of questions, or without going deeper into their space. Let's call it like that also. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, yeah, no, and I mean, everyone who's yeah, watching to this, I would say, can see what you meant by that when you were saying that someone can see where you are at this moment because they see your face, right? But I think also when it comes to the voice,
Yeah.
just how you're talking is also transferring a message which is inspiring, right? So thank you for that, definitely. Maybe last question in that regard. So you mentioned you were there for 12 years, right? What what kept you going and not giving up?
Love, love for the people. Again, for the smile. Those were days where sometimes somebody you thought was going to come, they didn't come because they killed themselves. It was post-war. Okay. So it's something that people cannot deeper understand, but it's just the way things were. And the knowledge that you are helping other people live through their day, you become very modest, and you respect so much their space, their time, their way they are sharing with you. So love towards people. You don't have to, I'm not saying like love towards a child, or love towards a spouse. It's just love towards honestly being there for people and supporting them. And that's what, I think that what's I always to this very day, I always tell people, thank you for your time. I really mean that when I say to someone, thank you for your time, because you are allowing me into your space for me to say something to you, or we're talking or something, and I'm sharing something or you're sharing something. And again, it's time that is extremely valuable. Nothing else. Nothing else is valuable as time. So
And in that regard, thank you for your time, Daniela. Really appreciate it.
thank you.
How did it come then moving to Dublin?
So after 12 years of that, went to Zagreb, lived in Zagreb for a long time, which is a wonderful city, and Croatia is a beautiful country as it is. I'm not promoting Croatia, but yeah, it is. It is. I'll give tips to anybody who wants to go. Um, my daughter and we missed each other very much. So she came here in 2018, and in between those years, before the pandemic, we had our little thing that we would meet each month once in a different city. So we met like once in Brussels, once in Paris, once in Budapest, once in, like, so once a month. It was our thing, we loved it. Budapest, we're going, so we're going to go see have a meal, do I don't know, theater, a concert if something is in English, or walk around and we had a plan. So that was our weekend, and we did that once a month. And then the pandemic happened, and we didn't see each other, and it was like really, it wasn't a good feeling. And then we didn't see each other for, I don't know, like 8 months. We're very connected. We talk, and it's a huge investment that we put in our relationship, my daughter and myself. So it's both way working, not only me as a mother towards her, but she also towards me. And we didn't. And she came to Croatia. We saw each other. Everything's wonderful. And then again, it was not. And she said, like, okay, why don't you come here and move to, like, okay, we've been so many places and everywhere. You've never been to Dublin. And I said, okay, that's true. And I came to see her on November 21. And it was nice and so on and so on. She said, oh, you can live here. We can be close. So that's what happened. And February last year, 22, I came to Dublin. So I am celebrating my 1 year anniversary in Dublin. I work for a wonderful company. I am so happy and so grateful, and so really working with ServiceNow. So yeah, that's how I came to Dublin, because my daughter and I missed each other, and she needed me at the time. Now we're living separately. It's nice to have a close by relationship. So yeah, it's good. We like that we're like half an hour, 30 minutes away from each other, and 30 minutes in a city like this is not a bad thing. Dublin is not a big city. It's a nice, vibrant city to live in.
Yeah, no, I'm glad that you both enjoy each other's company. This is something special, I would say. So happy that you enjoy, and congratulations to 1 year anniversary.
Yes,
That's
yes,
something, yeah.
yes, it is.
And you just mentioned it. How did it come to make, yeah, kind of a new start and also changing industries, right? So you're now in the tech industry, new for you.
Yes, it is. So I had a bad interview with the agency, and in 11 minutes, 7 times, she told me I have too much experience. I was like, since when is experience a bad thing? And I was like 2 minutes mad, but that's me. I'm like 2 minutes mad, and I'm already doing something. So I literally Googled what's the best place to work for. I literally Googled that because I was like, oh man, I'm too much experience. Who's going to value my experience, and who can say, okay, who's the diversity, and where can I be? Where can someone use all this that I have? And then I saw there was ServiceNow. She's like, I have no idea what these people do. And I Googled more, and I saw, oh, this is interesting. And then I saw Fred Ludi's video, and I saw, I saw, oh, this is great. And then when I watched a couple of videos, okay, this is now enough. I'm going to find something where I can work with them. I'm already sitting in Dublin, and and I'm thinking, I have to find a really good, because whatever I've done, it was always, my work is always meaningful. It wasn't. I never really had a job. I really did something with my total being, my purpose, and things. And then I saw there's a position for the president's office of EMEA. I can do that. I had no idea what I was going to do. Very honestly. And I talked I had a great interview, and my interview, the recruiter from ServiceNow was a really, really good, interesting person, and it was like they went very quickly. At the same time, I told them I'm interviewing for another company that is very close, similar, and I only applied for 2 places, so it was like that company and ServiceNow. I'm like, I like ServiceNow a little bit more. And the interview, it was wonderful. So with the manager, who was now still my manager, I was very open, and I told her, I don't know this, I don't know. Excel was like everything I know about Excel. I learned YouTube is my best friend, so everything's on YouTube. So, and she said, it's okay, really. You just have to tell us what you don't know, and it's okay. You're going to learn, but you keep your passion and you keep your enthusiasm and you do your thing. It's going to be great for all of us. Use your experience, strengthen yourself, and things you're going to learn on the way, and just don't worry about it. Just be you, and focus. Where do I sign? I was so happy. I am still very happy. So the team grew, and the whole team is wonderful, really wonderful. I have another manager, and we're doing customer relations concerning the president's office, customer engagement, put it that way, and it's wonderful. And also, what is let's say my side job, or or something that I found that it was very necessary, was mentoring through the Next Gen program. So this is something that I do on a voluntary base when the program is active, and this is something also maybe I can talk or mention or something.
As you just mentioned it, Daniela, what is it? What is Next Gen?
So Next Gen is a part of our Rise Up program. So we're giving people opportunities that they maybe don't have, and or somehow maybe missed maybe in life, or they couldn't do something, and they're learning a lot about tech. We have a whole program, a lot of people who are supporting them through learning our system. They're becoming developers through ServiceNow and so on. So I don't know a lot of things about tech, so I don't do that. I do not know how to code, and nobody's asking me to do that. So nothing that, but they need a mentor in a different way. So my first mentors that I received uh, were refugees. So the world is a very, very small place. So sometimes things just go around, and I accepted them, both of them, at the same time. So it was really wonderful and respectful to help them. And you help them in the way that sometimes people just need a little bit of encouragement, and they need a nice word, and they need some kind of, let's say, emotional help and support. You're in a foreign country, and you don't know many things. You don't know, maybe you need a little bit of help how to write a cover letter. You need how to talk to somebody. You need just support. And this is what I've done. I've had mentees after the refugees. So till now, I've mentored 4 people in this 1 year. I think that we're starting again in June to have more mentees involved, and I think it's a huge privilege that, again, someone gives you part of your life. You get the insight, a little bit of people's life, and they talk to you, and you help them and support them. And I'm in contact with all 4 of the mentees, so I know when 2 of them got a job within ServiceNow development as developers. So that's something to say about our program, that our partners employed them. I'm very proud of that, and we're in contact. So they tell me things about their private life, something what's wonderful happening to them, and I'm grateful for that. Someone wants to share piece of their life with me, and they don't have to, because officially we're done with the program, but they still want. And I think I feel very, very privileged that someone wants to share their life with me.
Yeah. I think reaching that level based on a theoretical program is something which is, yeah, next level, I would say. So, I mean, and besides your background, right? But going into such a thing with intrinsic motivation, I think that is a game changer. And yeah, it's just best case scenario or use case, however you want to name it, what you just described. So thank you for sharing that. Um, yeah, maybe as a last question from my side. So you mentioned in a LinkedIn post of yours, and I quote, "In a blink of an eye, you can lose everything, and nothing will be the same. Nothing."
It's true. It is true. That's why I live in the moment, because you don't know what's going to happen the next moment. You don't know what you're going to, you know. I've changed homes in my life. You lose. Not everything can be under your control, and this is when you know this, that you love and respect the moment, and you cherish it, because you do not know if it's going to happen again. This very moment will never happen again. Never. And then you know that you respect it, and you cherish that moment that you have, because, I lived through an earthquake in Zagreb. So again, they're just like, you don't know it's going to happen. You do not know that, and you can lose something, and you can lose. So again, materialism. And they said, how much do you need? Do you need three cars? Do you need this? Do you really need it? How much do you need? How much are you satisfied with yourself? How much is important to you? And what is important to you? And what do you do? And then again, it's about being grateful that you have this special moment with somebody, because nothing can be the same if you lose something or somebody, and you know that, and that's why you cherish it.
Thank you for that, Daniela. Yeah, maybe last question for today. So we are almost at the end of our conversation, right? Self-awareness, self-reflection, mental health, recharging, purpose. Buzzword bingo or what?
I believe in self-reflection, but also to be kind to yourself, because when I worked previously with other people as a life coach and personal development, um, people are very strict to themselves. My daughter said I should write a book. So if you tell everything, if someone would come to you and tell everything that you tell yourself, you would say, you know what? The door's over there. You can leave. Okay. So people are very strict to themselves. And I think that people need to be kind to themselves, because if you're very honest and open in your approach, whatever you're doing, doesn't matter what, is it life, is it cooking, is whatever you're doing, you're really putting in an effort, or work and everything. And you know that you're putting in an effort, and it's not going to be perfect, but the next time again, it is going to be. And the next time again, it's just as practice, like everything else. And this is a self-awareness, like, okay, you done it. What did you learn from it? Can you improve something? Okay, improve it. And the fact that you are trying is that this, pat on the back, not criticize. Oh, you didn't do this. You don't know what don't know. How are you supposed to do something if you don't know that? So again, you be kind. This is a self-awareness, not criticism. you should have done this, because then you have the shoulda, woulda, coulda, and that never helps. Because if you go into should, would, and could, you're going to just go deeper into finding problems against finding solutions. I play chess, so you need to think at least 2 times in advance what is happening. And this is how you solve problems in your own self-awareness and your own self-reflection. Okay, you have the right to be mad. It's a legit emotion. I'm not a person who would suppress any kind of emotion. If you need to cry, cry. If you need to be mad, be mad. If you just need to express your emotion, go through it, accept it, whatever it is. Okay, deal with it. Okay, I acknowledge that this and this, and then you go on. So again, it's self-awareness. And through your own cleaning system, I would call it a cleaning system, you take care of your well-being, your mental health, because your brain is clear of guilt or negativity or anything else. Because when your brain and your body is filled with all that, you cannot think and do in a good way that you are supporting others. You're first supporting others as a human being. That's my way. I believe that you are on earth to give first and then to collect. That's my attitude and my identity. And this is the way I think. So the reflection is in that say, okay, yes, I did make a mistake there. Not so happy about it. What did I learn about it? How can I improve it? Is there somebody to guide me? Is there somebody to mentor me? If can somebody tell me that I've done something that's not good, I am so happy. Again, I'm happy and I'm again grateful. Okay, you can improve this and this and this, and it will be, oh, thank you. Because they didn't have to share. One of the beautiful things that I've learned in my life, that a professor told me, what is the meaning of knowledge if you're not sharing with people? And this stuck to me my whole life, and I very much believe in it. So if somebody knows that I'm not doing so great, please do tell me. Please do tell me. I would really want to improve because I care. So that's again the core. I care. I care about making an impact. I care about, doing something. That's why the purpose. We all, as humans, when we start losing our purpose or not having the purpose, what are we doing in our life? This is where we go into deeper thinking, unhappiness, maybe depression. But in this time and age, we have so much help that is available that could, okay, let's reach out, let's support. In ServiceNow, we have a lot of this support system. We cherish diversity. We have, wonderful mentors there, wonderful colleagues that you can always turn to, but also in your private life, who's there? Who's there in your personal life? Do you have this, this person or this, doesn't matter, counseling or something? I very strongly believe that, okay, if you don't know, someone's going to maybe show you or guide you. I hope I answered your question.
It did, and thank you for sharing it. It was deep, so thank you for that. Yeah, as mentioned, we are at the end of our conversation. Thank you very much, Daniela. I really appreciate it. Also, thank you for your time and open words, right? Maybe over to you for the last word.
I hope that with all this, we, both of us, have motivated someone out there in the universe. This is your, let's say, baby. Baby in the way that you're doing something, you're creating something for somebody in your free time. So I have high respect towards that, because you don't have to do this. So that's why I even more respect it. It's not part of your daily job. It's about your free time. So I hope that we are motivating somebody somewhere in the world who just got an inspiration to change positively something about their life. So if we managed, and that's all, I always say that if I influenced only one person, into having a smile, doing something good with themselves, thinking about their moment and their future or something. Only one. It's like it's a it's like a pebble in the water, one pebble, and you see the water just it's the action and the reaction to one gesture. And mine is very pure, and all we need is one person to motivate others. And look at your smile. So I'm done.
It's
I,
genuine. Yeah,
I know
it's really genuine.
I see it. I know I see it, and I'm really really happy for it. For it. And okay, it's been wonderful talking to you. I will always support you whenever you need me. We can talk. So I'm here for that.
Thank you for that. Really appreciate it, Daniela. And let me know when you're in Munich, because yeah, I might not come in short term to Dublin, but let me know. And yeah, thanks again for your time. Really appreciate it, and hope to see you soon.
Thank you, Christian. Likewise. Enjoy your day.
Too. Bye.